Hey, it's a beer video and it's the last one ever. Why? Because Helen just sent me a picture of pickle milk, thus destroying our friendship. Is that real? Is it real?
I don't know. I don't think
Okay.
so. I hope not.
Okay, I didn't
Even
know.
as someone who actually likes pickles, like that sounds foul.
Oh, it's just, I didn't know if you actually saw that in a grocery store and like took a picture of it.
No,
I'm a dummy.
no.
I'm a dummy. Like, what do I know? Yeah, I saw that and was like, oh, I'm gonna throw up before the beer video. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, That didn't happen, but it could have, Helen. We came close. We came close.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Um, hey, so Wicked, I didn't see it. Wicked?
So, okay. So here's my thing. This is why I'm confused by Wicked. I have read the book. I have never seen the musical,
Okay.
but the book is kind of a huge downer. So,
Hmm.
like, I think that the ending was rewritten for the musical to make it happier, but yeah, I was depressed for a couple days after I finished Wicked the book.
Yeah.
Um yeah, it's kind of brutal. Like I don't want to go so far as to say it's like basically Song of Ice and Fire in the Oz universe, but
Yeah.
it's not dissimilar.
But I mean, because yeah, right, because we know it's all well, or like the Star Wars prequels. We know what Darth Vader ends up being. Like, it can't end well.
I
You know?
so that's not the part that's a downer. It's like okay, there's sexual assault, there's genocide, there's like
Sure.
universe racism. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I guess.
like part of the reason the Wicked Witch is the Wicked Witch is okay, spoiler alert for a at this point I think 20 plus year old book, I guess, but her her lover gets beaten to death by the secret police, so yeah. Yeah, ha ha ha. Defying gravity. Okay.
Yeah. No, so sure. I just meant, yeah, I'm taking it more from more of a simplistic standpoint that we know what the Wicked Witch ends up being and what ends up happening to her because we have a, god damn it, almost 80-year-old movie to tell us that story. And so I kind of took it from that where it's like, well, obviously it doesn't end well because we know that the main heel character, well, not the main, I mean the one that we think is the main until we find out who the main character actually is. Spoiler alert, in case you didn't see The Wizard of fucking Oz. Um, I kind of meant it from that, where it's like, well, there has to be some sort of negativity to this because we know what happens to the character. But yeah, but also that part of it too, because I know that like some of the dum-dums that have gone to this movie are like, it's woke, where it's like, motherfucker, that's a real complaint. This book is 20 years old. There's a fucking musical you could have seen. It's been in the canon for 2 decades now. And you're now
I
just
mean, like, if your whole thing is complaining that, like, oh, they're trying to make the villain sympathetic, it's like, yes, that is rather the point of both the book and, as I understand it, the musical. So,
yeah.
what are we doing here? Like,
We're just we don't have a lot. I think we're hearing from a lot of people who aren't our best and brightest. And like I am on a fucking social media purge right now where I'm not looking at news. I'm staying away from shit. And I even heard about this. And I'm like, just how dumb are people? Just don't go to movies. Don't indulge in art. Art is political. It has always been. So Rage Against the Machine is not your friend. Stop it. Like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Paul Ryan being a fan of Rage Against the Machine is still, I think, pretty funny. Like,
Yeah.
I like some art by people whose politics I'm not really on board with, but I like to think I'm at least a little aware of that fact.
Yeah.
Like, uh, yeah, I'm not going to be like, oh, wait, Yukio Mishima hated communists? Like,
Yeah.
thankfully, he's extremely dead at this point. So,
That helps. That
yeah,
always
sure
helps.
does. Sure
That
does.
always helps. Yeah. Well, we have beer, and Helen, I thought I fucked up, but I didn't. And you went first last week, so I'm going first. So I have a beer from Belching Beaver. We've had them before, and it's a
Ah, I
Deftones.
really like their peanut butter stout. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a Deftones beer. And I we've done a Deftones beer before. If you go back to episode yes, the Bruce Dickinson is what it's called. That was the episode where I drank the last Deftones beer. Research. Um that was an IPA. So I got a little concerned because I was like, wait a minute, I think I did this. I didn't do this. So this is called Bored, Bored. It's a blueberry wheat ale. That's your cover, or that's your cover. That's your can. Um, I don't believe this is super high in alcohol. No, 4.5%. So this is the text. When you wish for the real one, this new Deftones X Belching Beaver collaboration brew has you covered. Board is anything but average, wheat ale amplified with blueberries and a touch of vanilla, perfect for relaxing in the heat, or heart, blah blah blah, whatever. I don't like the way they have these sentences broken up because when you read it, it's hard to read. They don't have the correct. They're the way they broke up sentences doesn't make sense. I'm drinking out of a really old Boba Fett glass. I've had this glass for about 12, 13 years. So let's see what this is like. I'm imagining it's going to be very blueberry-ish, said the smart guy.
Well, as someone from a state known for blueberries, fake blueberry flavor, I very much don't care for, but I'm
Uh,
withholding judgment and I trust you.
I went to Bar Harbor like about 15 years ago, and at one of the bars, I got a blueberry ale where they actually put blueberries in it. So good. It was so good. I like blueberries, so
I think I may have had that beer at some point.
yeah, I can't remember what it was, but oh, this is nice. Um, the vanilla is a perfect complement to the blueberries. So it's not overpowering with blueberries. It's like the vanilla kind of cuts in. So it almost tastes like, boy, I don't want to say like a yogurt with blueberries in it, but kind of like that sense where both of these flavors are completely intertwined. Yeah, it's really nice. And it's not like again, it doesn't taste artificially flavored. Like it has a really nice fresh blueberry taste to it. And then like that the vanilla. Without the vanilla, I wouldn't like it as much. I really think that's the thing that pulls this whole thing together. Um it's a damn good tasting beer. It's a really nice it's a really crisp beer and it's got some good body to it. Um a lot of times something that's like a 4.5 percenter is can tend to be a little thin. And this isn't really like that. This is a pretty good mouthfeel.
Eh.
Um, oh, I know what it reminds me of. I feel bad because this is sort of an artificially flavored thing. But when I was a kid, I don't think they make these anymore. Maybe they do. They had these lollipops that were like strawberry and cream, and then it had a blueberry and cream.
Mm.
It reminds me of the blueberry and cream lollipops. I loved those things as a kid. I would eat the fuck out of one right now if someone handed it to me. Um, yeah, it's really good. Really, really good aftertaste too.
Cool. So it's kind of like a dessert. Would you say it's a dessert beer, like a dessert
No,
wine?
no, not really. No, it's not it's not subtle, but it's not I wouldn't put it in the dessert category. It's
Okay.
a little bit it's too much of a boy, how do I put this? Um it's too much like a regular beer for it to kind of be a dessert beer. And I mean that
Okay. Cool.
as a positive. So yeah, yeah, this is a nice beer. I like this more. I remember the IPA that I had because I just watched that video. And I do like this more than that IPA. This is really, really nice. So and plus low alcohol. So if you want to crush a bunch of these, and then listen to White Pony, I don't know, then you'd be okay.
I'm not the world's biggest Deftones fan. I know like they're the respectable new metal band. I can't.
Oh,
Um
it's okay.
it's one of those things I guess I don't know, like a lot of fruit flavored beers where it's like I don't hate it, but it's not for me.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
Doesn't need to be. I've seen them live a bunch of times. The first time I ever saw them live, I wasn't, it's whenever White Pony came out. And I knew of them, but I didn't really know much about them. And when I saw them, they were like on his, I was working for a newspaper at the time and I went and covered this day-long package of like alt rock bands that was sponsored by Rolling Rock. And Deftones was on that. And they were great. Like they just blew everybody out of the fucking water. And the worst band I saw that day, and they stand as one of the worst bands I've ever seen live ever, is Stained. They were
uh
on that show. Uh, There's no, I cannot think of a band I've ever seen before that was this boring. And that's like, it was like at the height of their popularity, like so
yeah,
fucking boring. They
yep.
just stand there.
And Aaron Lewis is, well, I promised I wouldn't get into politics, but
A dumb shit. Let's just say a dumb shit. And we can talk about
yeah,
him. Yeah, we'll talk
I
about
don't
him.
know. And he's really embracing the northern redneck thing. And as someone who grew up in a trailer in the backwoods of Maine, uh, I would like to invite him to shut the fuck up, please.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, if you're gonna embrace being from New England, like at least like speak in your fucking native accent. God, I'm so sick of like northern rednecks still trying to sound like southern shit kickers. Have some self-respect. I'm
That's
not
in the
going
beer
to an
video.
accent because
Yeah.
there's some things you don't deserve to be subjected to.
Yeah. Helen,
Um,
before your beer, tell me about your shirt.
oh yeah, okay. So I bought this on my recent vacation in Norway. It is a Gallery Fjallar shirt. That is the art gallery run by Christian Espedal, Gal from
Mhm.
Gort in Galsford, and his delightful twink boyfriend Robin Jacobson. And I'm happy that Uh, I had a tube of lotion break in my luggage, and
Oh,
this shirt had a massive grease stain on it. 4 washes later and some intensive treatment with dish soap, and it's finally fucking out. So
yeah.
I can finally wear this shirt. Yeah.
Speaking of Gall, you can't really see that cover because it's weird looking. The
Is that the new Traldom?
New Treldum,
Yeah, that's really good, by the way.
fucking so good.
Yeah,
It's so good.
yeah. Gall is a very nice man. Um,
Yeah,
Uh, well, okay, to me, I should say, I know he has a torture conviction, but to be fair, the guy did break into his house.
yeah. You kind of gotta. You sort of have it coming in that case.
Yeah, maybe he overreacted a tiny bit, but I mean, like, if someone breaks into your house, like,
Do what you
I
got.
feel like a little bit of overreaction maybe is understandable. Um, and
Absolutely.
yeah, no, he and Robin are two. They're one of my favorite couples I've ever met. I think
Yeah,
they're just uh like I'm sure everyone's seen pictures of them, like at least who's in the audience for the Spear video, and it's like, yeah, they are like that in real life, but like if you watch them talk to each other, like it's yeah, it's kind of a contrast in personalities, but you can also see like how they kind of fit together, you know? Like I don't know. They're really sweet. The art gallery is fantastic. Has like a really good variety of stuff. I saw a poetry reading there, and I understood about half of it because I am not that great at listening to native Norwegian speakers talk, but it was still pretty cool.
yeah. I'm wearing a shirt that the Pittsburgh Pirates have the Rookie of the Year. We have this pitcher Paul Skeens. He's like a generational talent. He'll be a Pirate for 4 years because our fucking ownership is cheap as shit, and there's no way they're gonna pay him. But he is like he's gonna be the dude. He might kind of already is the dude in baseball. And so I have this shirt that there's a local chain called not a chain, sorry, like a local business called Steel City. So they make a lot of Pittsburgh oriented stuff. And so this is Paul Skeens and it just says King of the Hill.
Yes.
And Paul Skeens has a cool ass mustache. And so yeah. So another great Steel City. I have a lot of Steel City gear. I fucking love them. So go buy some Steel City stuff if you like Pittsburgh.
I still have yet to visit, but I need to fix that
Yeah.
because you're there. And that nice lady we know from Twitter is there as well, or that I know from Twitter. God, Deanna.
Oh, Deanna. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Sorry. I just didn't know who you were talking about. Yep.
So I have got a I picked this because the name like kind of made me roll my eyes when I saw it. Prickly paranormal activity. Um, so it's a fruited Berliner Weiss with prickly pear, cherry, and white grape, and is brewed on the shores of Lake Minnetonka by Back Channel Brewing.
Nice.
Yeah, so purify yourself in those waters, I guess.
Yes. I kind of figured there was going to be prickly pear involved, but oh, look at that color.
Yeah, it's kind of what I expected. I'm not usually much of a one for fruited sours for reasons I've gone into in tedious detail here, but
Yeah.
I decided to take a chance on this one because the name was so stupidly corny. I kind of wanted to like grumble about it.
Yeah.
Smells like fruit. You've seen that what is it, that Tim and Eric bit with John C. Riley, like
I
doing a tasting and he's just drunk as shit.
I have never seen that. I have to confess I have not watched enough Tim and Eric.
I'm not a huge fan, but yeah, it's like John Academy Award winning character actor John C. Riley going like, people say you're supposed to spit it out. No way, Jose. This stuff tastes like. Anyway, sorry. This is low ABV. Um, 4.5%, so crushable, I guess,
Yeah,
but
it
we'll
was mine
see.
too. We both have the same percentage. I'm gonna put Wicked in the title of this video to see if it helps us get more viewers.
Hmm.
Is that a different glass too? I don't remember that glass.
Oh, this is Dangerous Man glass. Matt accidentally stole it from the tap room when we
Nice.
went there for my birthday like years and years ago.
Okay. Maybe I have seen that one before. Okay. It's probably the color of the beer. I didn't realize all the details on the glass.
So this is fine, I would say. I am reminded of why I don't care much for fruited beers. It is just a little too much on the sweet side for me. I
Uh,
think that's prickly pear is pretty sweet.
yeah.
So I thought Berliner Weisses? I don't know. Germans can yell at me for doing the plural wrong, I guess. But I thought they were supposed to be a little more tart, and this is like a bit sweeter than I expected. It's
Gotcha.
fine, and I will finish it, but I think
You
this
won't be
is a one
happy
and
about
done
it.
for me for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
So is it like not sour enough? Like, do you get enough of the sour that you can, if you were blinded, like blind taste testing, you'd realize it was a sour?
yeah, no, I wouldn't. I would assume this is some kind of fruity cocktail, which is fine. It's
Yeah.
just what I look for in a beer necessarily.
It's really strange because it's reminding me, the color of it reminds me of Kool-Aid, and for some fucking reason, I just want a glass of cherry Kool-Aid so badly right now.
So I'm gonna bring up something you're gonna find extremely hateful, but
Okay.
so there is a southern snack food called Kool-Aid pickles.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt made some a while ago, and they're actually like I know you are a dedicated pickle hater, so not for your types, obviously. But if you enjoy pickles and you kind of like the sweet and sour taste sensations, I think they're really good, actually.
So, how do you soak them in Kool-Aid? Is like that?
Yeah, so you just get like dill pickle spears or whatever. You pour off the brine and you replace it with Kool-Aid.
Ah, okay.
And it gives them both a very alarming color. Cherry Kool-Aid's the best for this. Grape Kool-Aid just kind of makes them this sad, like mauve. Um, but yeah, cherry Kool-Aid makes them this like kind of neat looking red, like this beer looks actually. Um, and yeah, like we had a jar hanging out in our fridge for a while. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're a nice little snack.
Yeah,
Um, for once in a while kind of thing.
yeah.
I don't know. I guess I bring this up because in both the color and the taste, this beer reminds me a bit of Kool-Aid pickles. It's got a little bit of tartness, but it's mostly just kind of sweet. And I wish it had leaned a little bit more on the tartness. I think it would have given it a more nuanced flavor.
Yeah. And what's the brewery again? Back
Um, shit, shit. Logo, where are you? Back Channel Brewing.
Back
Sorry.
Channel. Okay, I knew it was back.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind checking something out else out by them. I think maybe this is just a type of beer I don't really care for. Um,
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah, yeah, it's and I feel like this is kind of my complaint about every single fruit sour I've had recently. It's a little too sweet. Um, I feel like the best ones are brewed with a kind of fruit that's naturally a bit sour. Like, I don't know, there's a reason I like Sea Quench so much, and it's like actually brewed with a bunch of lime.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and God, what is it? I've had some pineapple sours I really liked, and
Oh, that
like
makes sense.
pineapple by itself is a little bit tart. Prize does a raspberry sour that's like very readily available around here and very popular, and for a good reason. Like raspberries are like a pretty tart fruit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that one obviously is a little sweet too, but like also has that raspberry tartness. And I think like yeah, this is prickly pear, cherry, and white grape. None of those fruits are very tart naturally,
Mm.
so I think, you know,
Yeah, we're looking for the contrast, probably.
yeah, I don't know if cherry is a beer I would put in a Berliner Weiss. Like I think I've had cherry stouts I really liked.
Oh
But
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I think all three of these are a bit mm, like it doesn't quite it's a bit much against the beer style, but
Sure.
this is not to say it's bad. I think it's just I will finish this, but I will not buy it again.
No
That's my
revisits.
verdict.
All right. That's fair. Um, so this is the part of the beer video where we are going to get into some news or
You will
pretend.
enter the cool zone.
Yes, potentially. So everybody can, we'll see you next week. For the people that want to stay for the negativity, here we are. We are soaking in it.
Yeah. Well, I have something positive, what's your bright spot today, buddy, right?
Yeah.
So my bright spot today is my jujitsu friends, Emma, Pam, and Jillian, led a women's self-defense seminar in which I
Oh,
happily volunteered as human punching bag.
yes.
Um, yeah, and so it was cool. It was a lot of younger women. I saw some women older than me as well, like a mother-daughter pair came.
Yeah.
That was super cool, and I
Yeah.
really hope I see some of them again. Jiu-jitsu can be a real sausage party, and
Oh, sure. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm always happy to see women getting into it, you
Yeah.
know. And I will extend this to our bare dozen audience members. I understand it can be like maybe an intimidating thing to get into because it seems like such a broy habit, but like I will say, my school at least, yeah, there's a lot of like bros there that I practice with that are young enough to be my fucking sons.
Yeah.
But like they're all pretty chill. If you show up and you put the work in, they will respect you.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not like a jailhouse thing necessarily, but like I don't know, find the biggest guy on the yard and beat him up. Don't do that. But like I don't know, like yeah, like I would never have expected to socialize with like fucking like 22-year-old ex-high school wrestlers, but I do, and you know, they're cool.
Yeah.
Like,
People can still surprise you.
yeah, yes, okay, you will probably have to socialize with some people whose political views you may find a little iffy, but I feel like the skills you learn are worth it, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know people's mileage may vary. I'm not gonna try to like force anyone to do anything they're uncomfortable with, but
Of
I
course.
think it is something to at least consider. I don't know. I feel like when young men are emboldened to say things like your body, my choice, you also should learn how to put pressure on their carotid arteries till they pass out.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. And more people need to do that. I have a sort of bright spot thing, but I just realized I meant to bring it in and I didn't. Let me go grab it. Talk amongst yourselves.
Eh, there's Brian jogging off. I don't know where he's going.
It's
God,
not
you
a
put me
pop
on the spot
vinyl.
here. Oh no, that's his wall of Funko Pops.
It's not a pop vinyl. I pre-ordered
Better
this.
fuck off you.
I pre-ordered this over the summer and completely forgot about it, and then it showed up this week. You're aware of Tony Storm, right?
That pretty 40s pinup lady looking wrestler. Yeah.
So I bought this. So this is the outside of it, and when you open it up, it is a Tony Storm action figure. And yes, she's black and white.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you sent me a picture of that after, I
Oh, I
think,
did.
in your
Yeah, I
words,
did.
200 years.
Yeah.
How's your hangover, bud?
How's my hangover? Mine's great. I feel
Yeah, I didn't. Yesterday, I went to see some old punk bands. I convinced one of my jujitsu girls to actually come out with me.
oh cool.
And did I send you the pictures of her cat or one of her cats playing in my jacket? Because I will.
I don't think
Very
so.
cute. Yeah.
Look, my memory doesn't always serve me well, so it could be.
God, that's relatable. Yeah.
Oh, I did. Oh, actually, I sent that to you by accident. The picture of the Tony Storm thing. I was trying to send you a picture of the eyeshadow, and I accidentally included the Tony Storm the outside the packaging. I didn't even realize I did that until just now. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
I
you did.
appreciate you sending me makeup pictures because it helps me try to be a bit more ambitious with mine. Like I just slapped on some lipstick before this video, but yeah,
I don't know. I
I
like
don't know. I rarely do eyeshadow because my eyes are a feature I feel very conflicted about, but
that.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I started with. That's what I wanted to do was the eye makeup, and I don't have any on now. Well, I still have the residuals of last. I've already, wiped it off, but I still have some glitter on me.
Yeah, so my issue is like I feel like whenever I put on full eyeliner it's a bit much, but I really like how it looks when I've mostly removed it. Then I should figure out how to do that kind of more right off the bat. I don't know. Whatever. I'm 40 and I'm still figuring out makeup. I started late, okay?
So did I.
I'm sure, yeah, you know what it's like.
Yeah. My whole
Oh
life is
man,
starting
we
late.
just done like fun, lighthearted makeup talk. So let's get into the cool zone, shall we?
Yeah.
Secretary of Education Linda McMahon.
So fucking funny. It's like of all of the McMahons.
Okay, I'm just really glad that my mom retired from teaching before this happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, my mom is very chill and extremely Midwestern and Lord lover, but very conflict avoidant. And I know even her like good-hearted, sweet, tolerant Midwestern self would be getting called like a pedo enabler by these creeps
Yeah. Yeah.
because like she doesn't hate gay people.
Yeah. God forbid. Um, so people say not necessarily bad things about Linda McMahon personally. She's kind of the Vince Linda McMahon thing. Like a lot of people have sympathy for her because he is a serial cheater and, just a fucking horrible human being. But
Okay, so why did I assume Linda McMahon was his daughter? That's
no,
his wife?
it's his wife, but they are separated. Yes. Yeah, no, his daughter.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Um, the thing is, and this is not a shock considering all the other people that he has named to his cabinet or tried to, um, is that in the early 80s, there was a scandal within that company, and Belinda very, very much was a part of the ownership, um, where ring boys were being sexually harassed, sometimes a little worse than that by
Yeah.
uh, at least one person, potentially two, depending on whose story you hear. Um, And it was known, this wasn't a secret, and she was definitely there. She was definitely in like a leadership position. And that lawsuit, a fresh lawsuit has been filed recently based on that. Because there was a
Mhm.
person, Tom Cole, who was kind of one of the victims, not kind of, one of the victims, and he's since taken his life. Um, yeah, it's a really, really ugly story. But there's a lot of ugly stories about early WWF. There was a wrestler, a very well known, oh, we're running out of time. Holy shit. Sorry, we have like a window of time that we have to hit here. We got like 8 minutes. There was a very well-known wrestler named Jimmy Snuka who probably almost definitely murdered his girlfriend. Brutalized her in a hotel room. And he somehow got off. And there are stories that Vince McMahon showed up with a briefcase and left without it. And Snuka never faced charges. He did later in life, but by that point, he was so gone. He had cancer and I believe dementia. I mean, the dude fucking hit his head constantly. So, I mean, I'm sure he was CTE'd like crazy. And so he died before a trial ever happened. So they never got anything out of that. So there's really ugly shit in that woman's past. Maybe that she wasn't directly involved with, but when you're one of the leaders of a company, you're responsible.
Yeah.
And it's just, but she's also one of his, if not his top donor, one of. So, and
Yeah, I mean,
she was
I
the
feel
small
like
business.
sexual assault's kind of a theme. Like,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
Pete Hegseth, yeah, he's a minister boy, by the way, Forest Lake.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, he wrote an editorial in college about how like date rape isn't a thing.
Hmm.
I think there was a case filed against him by a
Yeah,
woman who says he sexually assaulted her when she was very drunk.
yeah.
Matt Gates, I feel like we don't even need to really get into that.
That
Like,
dude, the fucking Venmo thing, like,
yeah,
what is wrong with you? That's it. I don't know. They're not their best and brightest. Without question, they're not our best and brightest. And to be this stupid. I mean, and
yeah,
look, I mean, he did a horrible, his actions were fucking horrible. I'm not trying to, gloss over that, but to be this stupid to let that stuff just be out there in public, but he probably thought he was untouchable. And I think we're just lucky enough that people hate him so fucking much that he actually
yeah.
didn't make it.
I, yeah, I'm not looking forward to the next 4 years. I'm just gonna,
I'm not either, but I think the thing that I'm trying to do and I'm trying to remember is that this is a shit show. And Trump and Musk aren't going to be buddies forever. Like there's already tension. Um, think about last time. How long people lasted last time? Not very long. These are incompetent dum-dums trying to run a country. Unfortunately, people are going to get hurt because of that. But I think
yeah.
there's also parts of this where we can just kind of sit back and laugh at these dummies.
I'm just waiting for the next time someone like what's gonna happen next election. I mean, provided we have one, har har. Like, you know, and people said that like cost of food and shit was an issue, and it's like I really wish everyone had looked into maybe how much of the labor force in farms and slaughterhouses and shit like that is undocumented.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, speaking as someone who worked in restaurants for a long time, restaurants as well.
Mhm.
Boy, like a
Yeah.
couple of my former workplaces had ice raids. So,
Yes, it was, yeah.
like you think burger too expensive right now. Like fucking wait till lettuce is $5 a head.
Hmm. And I love these dum-dums that are like, oh, it's just going to be the foreign prices, it's not going to be American made stuff. You don't understand how much fucking shit in a Walmart comes from other countries. Are you gonna be happy to have to pay $700 for your next PlayStation? Because that's possible. We were looking at a television today. We don't need one. But there was like a 72-inch television at Target because it's like Black Friday and it was like $350. We don't have room for it right now. But I was like, I feel like I want to buy it now because there's a good chance next year at this time that thing's going to be double the price.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad
Not,
I bought my new phone, like, or new to me, whatever. I'm glad I bought my new phone recently because
yeah. I mean, it might not happen, but if it does, if these tariffs go through and he does some of the stuff he's talking about, oh, you think things are pricey now.
yeah,
Fuck
and what kills
fuck
me
around
is
and
like
find
I
out.
wouldn't mind paying more money for shit generally if it came with some guarantee that like the people that actually produce the shit were being treated better. But no,
Yeah.
it's just like this maniac trying to start a trade war just 'cause.
Yeah. And for all these people that are like, oh, we're just gonna make it in the USA. Where? Where? Where are the factories? Where are the people? Where? Where are they?
Yeah, I
Because
remember that one chip plant that was supposed to start in Wisconsin never did.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's pipe dreams, guys. It's like the thing with I'm going back to Wicked. People don't read, people don't pay attention, people don't give a fuck. They just are behind like because their daddy won the election and they think it's not going to impact them. It's going to impact you.
It will, you know. And this is the part where I'm like, boy, I really gotta get better at my conversational Norwegian. I've been reading tabloid stories, it's helping.
That helps. Hey, everybody.
Did you know the Norwegian princess, the oldest one,
Yeah.
they have a royal family.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, um, she married this conspiracy theorist, and it's a big scandal in Norway with some people saying like she should renounce her royal title.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the crown prince, who, okay, to be fair to this man, according to my Norwegian buddy, he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
He's met him a couple times, I guess. Um, but his wife, her son from before she married the crown prince, is apparently like he's caught a couple like sexual assault charges. The joke when I saw him, like that I made when I saw him was like, hi, he looks like his parents may have been siblings. So
Yeah.
I made the joke that he was a Prince Joffrey type, but really he's more of a Ramsay Bolton.
Great.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean, to be fair to the royal family, the crown princess said like, well, I'm not gonna help him out. He seems like a real little shit, so he's just gonna have to deal with this on his own.
good.
I mean, at
Uh,
least this is what I gathered from my like children's level Norwegian
Norwegian.
comprehension.
But you're learning.
I'm learning.
Yeah. We are flat out of time, so I'm gonna wrap this thing up here. So, I don't know, delete your Twitter, go have some beers and put on some eye makeup. Fuck.
That's right.
We'll see you next week. Enjoy the fake holiday on Thursday.
That's right. Bye.